Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Living Large Las Vegas. I am your host, Kobe Sherlock, and today back in the lab, Mr. Derek Parent. Derek, say hello to everybody.
Hello, hello.
Guys, today we are bringing a really special guest, somebody that's special to us, a great friend from the community, someone who's doing great work. I want to introduce you to Mr. Jason Ingwaldson, who is the Faith Fighter here in Las Vegas and also an incredible motivator and somebody that I think is very important for us to get out into the community and hear a little bit about what you're up to, Jason. So if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what the listeners should know?
Well, my name is Jason Ingwaldson, and yes, now I'm a motivator because everything I went through in the past with my boxing career as a young child, it's built me up. It builds my faith because one thing I live by is faith. Faith and never giving up. So that's what I bring to the table is keeping your faith and never give up.
You know, so the faithfighter.com. So I trained with Jason. You know, I have a amateur fight coming up. Our goal we put together for me was to have a one amateur fight in 2020, and Jason's doing that. But getting to know Jason I've known Jason now for a little over a year, but getting to know him more and more. Jason has an amazing story of persistence. You know, when I think of Jason is a tactician at boxing. Just to watch him, how he flows, and he makes it look so easy. And it's not. Boxing's difficult, but Jason is amazing. But Jason, like, what inspires me the most about you was when you first got into boxing. So you had a background where you were like MMA or like a black belt at 5 years old.
Yeah, I was first degree black belt in martial arts.
And then you got into boxing.
Yes, started boxing at 10 years old.
You got your butt whooped.
Yes, my first day got my butt handed to me pretty bad.
And then you came back every single day after that.
I sure did.
So let's talk about that.
Well, I was in martial arts when I was 5 years old, and because my mom saw me in school, kindergarten, I was getting picked on. I was small, and she saw me getting bumped on, so she didn't want her son to be a bully. So she put me in martial arts, and fast forward 2 years, my confidence built up, I'm doing better, but by age 7, something happened. 7 years old, I was hit by a car. I was in body cast when I was 7 years old, with the doctor saying I'd have a little chance of having any kind of athletic life. But fast forward 2 years, back in martial arts. Boom, 10 years old, I became a first-degree black belt in martial arts. Boom, prove the doctors wrong.
Man, that's incredible. And that's really what I feel like, that energy just surrounds everything that you're up to. That, you know, like Derek said, that persistence, that, you know, never quitting, never giving up. You know, how did that play into the start of your love for boxing, and kind of give us a background on where that started?
Okay, so at 10 years old, I'm karate national champ, first degree black belt. And so I had a friend, I played football. And Gremlin, first year with the pads on. And my friend on the team, Eddie Rivera, he was a boxer. And his dad was the head coach of the team. And I invited him to my karate dojo. So I invited him to my karate dojo, and we had a sparring session that day. So in martial arts, it's like 1 point, you stop. 1 punch, stop, point here. In boxing, it's nonstop flurries. So I invited him to my dojo, and oh my goodness, he was beating everybody up in my dojo. He lit me up too. And my sensei took my sensei, a grown man who's 25 years old, to hit this 10-year-old kid in the stomach with a side kick to knock the wind out of him. He was beating everybody up. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me try your butt. Let me try the boxing gym. Let me check that out. So it was in Baldwin Park, California, in the barrio. And here I am. My dad, he's bragging. We get there. My dad's bragging to the coach. My son's karate national champ. Bada bing, bada boom. He's a bad boy. This and that. The coach, yeah, whatever. So what does he do next? And the coach looked over, named Greg. He looked over, looked at me, and tell him, grab a rope. Who are you? So my dad kept on bragging, and finally he said, okay, you know what? Hop in the ring. So I get in the ring, and at this time I'm 60 pounds. The other kid was 55 pounds. His name was Leonardo Perez. Rest in peace. He passed away. But his name was Leonardo Perez, the first kid I got in the boxing ring with. And I remember I was small too. I was only 60 pounds, 10 years old. He was 55 pounds. I did not know he just had come off of winning the Silver Gloves National Championships boxing tournament. I didn't know that. So the coach put me in the ring, and I got in the ring, and I'm like, okay, coach. what do I do? He looked at me and he said, keep your hands up and your butt off the canvas and you'll be okay. I'm like, okay.
That's a heck of a way to kind of kick you off in your first fight.
So it's funny because he tells me the same day. I still stay in touch with the same coach. He tells me the same day, keep your hands up, your butt off the canvas. So anyway, so I get in the ring, and in karate, martial arts, squared up once again. In martial arts, it's 3 points, you win. So they say, achime, so you fight, stop, point here. And in boxing, it's like nonstop for 3 minutes. So I get in the ring, I'm squared up, and I hit him with one big shot. Boom! He came back with 10 punches. Bit. Like, whoa! I'm like, I came back with another punch. Boom! Bit. Oh my goodness, I got beat up so bad. So bad. But something I did, something that made me, I came back the next day.
Yeah.
I came back the next day and stayed with it.
How is it, fast forward, and what you're up to now as the Faith Fighter, having the opportunity to coach new fighters, having the opportunity to coach, people like Derek, who has introduced, how does that relate into your coaching style and kind of the message you pass on to your students?
Well, because everything that I went through, like at 10 years old, and when I started boxing at 13 years old, I was a junior Olympic champion. By 15, I was a junior Olympic national champion. By age of 17, I was given the award of Boxer of the Year in the United States. And pound for pound, one of the top boxers around. And I was moved to Vegas when I was 17 years old. Had a bodyguard when I was 17. And I'm sparring with Floyd Mayweather. Me and Floyd are going at it. We're toe-to-toe going at it. And it was amazing. I was like on top, doing my thing, set to take off, bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was going great. And come 1999, before the 2000 Olympics, that's when something happened. I had headaches, and something wasn't right. So they had an MRI performed on my brain, make sure everything's okay, so I can set to go for the Olympics. And they found bruising around my brain, which ended my career. And when that ended that time, it was very difficult, very hard. But the one person I had by my side was my coach, Pops. Andy Anderson was my spiritual father. He was always there with me. He mentored me over and over again, telling me, Jason, have patience. Have patience. You will receive an answer. And it was very, very hard because I left home at a young age to go after my dreams and goals, and all of a sudden, injury comes, and boom, it's all done. And it kind of hurt, too, because like everybody I thought were my friends there by my side, they walked away. Everybody thought, I mean, I learned when you're on top, your friends get to know you are. When you're on the bottom, you get to know your friends are. And wow, it was very few, very, very few, if just like some family. That's it. So it was hard. And it's like now if I had a chance to go back, 1997, 1999, where I was rated number one, set to take off, offered $1 million contract, turned down because I was going to receive a $5 million bonus contract because I was in the ring. I was a white guy, and the skills I had, I was showing in the ring. Me and Floyd were going at it in the ring, and it was amazing. And so I was off set to take off in big ways. And if I had a chance to go back, I would not change one day. I'd go through everything all over again because after my career ended, I suffered through seizures for 7+ years. And seizures, in and out of the hospital. My life was online all the time. I would not change one day. I go through all over again because what I'm doing now, I'm able to share my life with others. Everything I went through in the past, I'm able to pass on to others, give others hope, and share others my faith and never giving up.
Persistence.
Yes.
I see that every day. I get to work out with you every day. I get to be around you. We get to do some things together all the time. And I'll tell you, you're probably one of my all-time favorite coaches, like people that I've worked with, because we have a friendship, but when I'm in the ring, I know that's my coach. It's number of respect as coach. Mm-hmm. And outside the ring, we play a little bit, but that's one thing when I look at Jason is persistence. You don't give up. And, I knew your story before you shared it with people, and your story is motivation because you never given up. You've never given up. Your love for boxing, but your love for life, your love for giving back, your love for helping others. I see you in the ring with little kids, right? I see you in the ring, and funny is like when Jason has someone, I get to work out with them. I train with like an 11-year-old girl, right?
Yes.
We have some amazing time, but just he loves it. And watching him the other night, Jason was training another kid. I think he was probably around like 12 or 13.
Yes.
And with wrestling and boxing, you know, I just the love his face is just lit up. He's always happy, you know. It's funny. I try to bribe Jason. Just full disclosure, I bring I bring him a sweet and Sour Patch Kids, right? That way I say, hey, he's like, you trying to bribe me? I'm like, no, coach. Just want to make sure you have your sweets today before we get in the ring. But anyway, Jason, you truly are motivational and you are a mentor, and I appreciate you so much. Everything that you've given me, like I've already know my skills have gone up a little bit, and I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for you. But where does your persistence, I know it was in your boxing, but where does your persistence and discipline come from?
Well, at a young age, when I was, my dad, my mom, they passed me on to my coach, Pops, Andy Pops Anderson, who's my spiritual father. That's where a lot of it came from, because they had some kind of knowledge where they took a chance and they almost like gave me over to my coach, gave me over to him, put me in his hands to help raise me. And I remember when I started with him when I was 12 years old, he was my ride home. And so I went to his church, so I had to go to church with him Tuesday nights. It was Bible study church. My coach is black, I'm white, so his church is in Pomona, California. It was predominantly all black. And so I remember the first day he took me to his church, and I'm in there sitting down and everything like that, and everybody's like, hallelujah, glory. I'm like, whoa, what's this? His son Andre is like my brother. He said, Jay, remember Eddie Murphy in those movies, faking like he's a preacher, but this is it, but this is for reals. I'm like, whoa, hallelujah. And it was, as he kept on taking me over and over again, it was like my faith in God blinded my eyes. I never changed the way I walked or talked, but it was my eyes were open, you know, and it was amazing. But I remember when I was 14 years old, he told me one day, Jason, you're doing good in boxing, but you're a white boy. You got no rhythm. I'm like, what? Someone put you in the choir. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, whatever. So put me in the choir, and I called my mom because at this time I lived with my mom, and at 14 years old, I was actually traveling. My mom lived in Baldwin Park by my gym, and she moved to Victorville, California. So what my dad did was my dad and my older sister, they drove up to pick me up 3 days a week, an hour up, hour down, so I can go box, so I can box. So my dad would pick me up when he would, when I got out of school at 2 p.m., I got out of school, he picked me up, he dropped me off at my coach's house, and he'd go to work, and I would go to the gym, train, go to my church with my coach, of course, then come home. My dad would get off work at like 4 a.m, pick me up and take me back home. I did that 3 days a week, and it was good, but it was really hard because my coach sat me down one day and said, Jason, this is getting a little hard. It's getting a little difficult. You're not improving too much because the sacrifice is a little too much. For boxing, it's a serious sport. Boxing, if you want to box, it's an everyday thing. That's what it's not. It's not a 3 day a week thing. It's not a soccer, or it's not a baseball. This is contact to your head and to your body physically every day. So if you want to do this, you have to make a decision, as in move down here to the gym so you can train every day. And so I had to make a decision. I lived with my mom my whole life. That was one of the hardest things I ever did, was leave my mom. I left my mom. I stayed with my dad because they divorced at a young age, but I had a great relationship with both. But I moved my mom to my dad's. Now I'm living with my dad's, and now my coach told me, said, Jason, now, like I said, you have no rhythm. So put me in the choir. So I called my mom, Mom, I'm in the choir. She said, okay. She came down. My mom's from South America, Argentina and Uruguay. And she came down and she said, Jason, I remember her telling the story. She said, Jason, I pull up your church and I see a lot of Cadillacs in Pomona, California. And she said, I go into your church, and I'm like, okay. I look around there. Everybody's black, Jason. I'm like, where's my boy? Where's my boy? She Lex dead right in the center of the choir. They put me dead right center of the choir. You see this boy, hallelujah, hallelujah, clapping his hands. She was like, oh, that's my boy. But it was so funny. I swear it was comedy hour every Sunday. See this white boy. But I tell you what, I got my rhythm. I got my soul. And that transformation, the boxing ring, my footwork, that's what I'm known for, my good, amazing footwork and rhythm in the ring, which built me so much. Oh, my goodness. I just took off. My boxing career just escalated higher and higher and higher. And that was a big, big turning point in my life, in my career.
Well, you are definitely world class. I'll tell you that. You know, what is your favorite? I mean, I know if you had to pick your favorite, what is your favorite thing to do?
And well, boxing, I love my movement. I love everything. And one thing is funny because I'm right-handed, but my left hand is stronger than my right hand because my whole career, my coach, he established my jab. My jab was my everything, where I can control a fight with my jab, my left hand. Left hand, he said, Jason, your close hand to your opponent is what? Your left hand, your jab. So we're going to make that a weapon. So my thing every day in the gym was that jab. Boom, my arm was so sore, so over and over again, daily and day out, for months and months and months and years, my left arm. So I built it. It was a weapon. So that's what, around the world, my jab, that's what got me through fights. Everything. I can control a fight with the jab. That's what he taught me. That's what he showed me. And that was my number one punch. That's what I love doing is a jab and footwork, dancing around the ring. I love to dance. If a guy wants to come at me, I'm like, bring it. I can dance circles, spin them. And that was my style. I was an aggressive counterpuncher where I'm going to come after you. And I'm going to make you punch. And when you punch, I make you miss and make you pay. I'm going to get right in your face. So I was an action fighter, but at the same time, I wasn't one to take shots, get hit. No. I'm up in your face, make you miss, and make you pay. And if you didn't punch, I'm going to light you up.
Sounds a lot like business.
Make you punch, make you miss, make you pay.
So I got some questions, some fast ones. So what's your favorite punch to throw?
My jab. My jab. Known around the world, my left hand. That was my thing, my jab.
Have you ever trained any world fighters, any world champions?
Yes, I have. After my career, I was able to work with, of course, Ryan Garcia. I was called by a friend, and next thing you know, I'm in his garage in Victorville, California. I'm training Ryan Garcia before he turned professional. And so it was great because I was able to work with him for his first 15 pro fights. Wow. And he did amazing. But once again, I'm in Las Vegas and he's in California. The drive just became real difficult. And time-wise, everything I'm doing, I have my life here. He has his life down there. It was hard for me to just make that big sacrifice. It was very difficult. So still great friends with him and his family. And now he's taking off. Now he had to find another coach. And he's with Canelo, and I'm happy for him.
So I heard through the grapevine that your favorite fighter that you train nowadays is a guy named Derek Parent. Is that true?
Wait, who's that? Who's
I had a.
Oh wait! I know that. Wait, no. Oh. Derek Parent. There you go.
Jason loves. You know what? I love work with him. I love. It's funny is he loves hitting me, right? And when Jason hits me, he puts a smile on his face. Like his smile is funny, right? That smile right there. That's the smile he puts. He hits me and he laughs. He's like, hands up. And listen, if anyone has thought about getting into boxing, like you said, like he said it spot on. He said boxing is a 7-day thing. I train about 5 days. I would love to get 7 days. And truly would love to. I would love to be with him 7 days a week. But even if you want to get into boxing and get in shape, or if you have a goal, like my goal was not to become a professional boxer, but my goal was, because I boxed when I was a child, I wanted to have one amateur fight because I was working out. He inspired me that much. The first time working out with him, I knew I wanted to be around Jason more, and I knew I wanted to have a fight.
So he told me.
So Jason inspired me to get in the ring, right? But with that said, man, you're just an inspiration. A lot of stuff that you said resonates with business, right? Like business is a 24-hour a day thing. It's not a 9 to 5 job, right? And boxing is just not a 9 to 5, 3 days a week.
No, it's not. And it's great because besides Ryan Garcia, I was able to work with Jose Benavidez Jr. And David Benavidez Jr. as well, who was world champ, who's
great fighters.
Set in line. Possibly he's the youngest WBC middleweight world champion, and he's taking out doing amazing things. But again, and I went to training camps with them, and so I'm happy to be with them. And so different world champions, they call me to work with them. Jesse Vargas, another boxer I was able to work with as well. And it's amazing. I love working with professional fighters. It's great. But there's a joy that I have. Who I get to work with now. Besides the joy of working with Derek, of course. Sorry, Derek. No one comes to Derek. I know that. I'm sorry. I apologize. But now, I love it because I'm able to share my life with kids with special needs.
Yes.
And now I work with a lot of kids with special needs. Some are autistic, nonverbal, Down syndrome, arthrogryposis, X syndrome, just ADHD, and I love it because I'm able to share my life and touch kids. Because one thing that I've learned in my life, my coach told me about, Jason, be patient, because in your life, when you were injured, your career was out, he told me, be patient, you will receive an answer. And that's when, like I said, I would not go back 15 years when I was rated number one in the world. I'll go everything all over again, because what I'm doing now, I understand my life, my role is to motivate and to help others. And I wouldn't change anything I'm doing for the rest of the world. I love what I'm doing.
I watch you work.
I was going to say, man, I see it radiates straight through his social media, the motivation, the positivity. Yeah. I catch myself watching your social media posts all the time. So I get it, man. I'm right there with you when you're, putting it on socials with the work you're doing with these kids and teens. It's awesome, man. It literally is motivating.
I love it. I love it because I work with different kids from all walks of life. And I'm so thankful. And one major thing is patience. Yeah. Have patience. Work with everybody is different. Everybody has different personalities, and especially with kids with special needs. Every kid with special needs is different. There's not a book you can read, okay, follow these steps. No, everybody's different. So, but the main thing you have to have, the top ingredient, is patience.
Well, working out with me, I know you have patience.
Man, you gotta be so patient,
especially with Derek. I mean, there's patience, and there's nitro patience.
I'm gonna give you guys. This is Jason's combo to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3. I'm like, can we slow that? Wait, 1, 2, like so. Yeah, so Jason's a man motivator, but I watch him work out with. He has a little 5-year-old kid, Caleb, but just seeing him with Jason in the ring with him.
And there's a little Felix, another little Felix. Yeah, he was 4 years old, training me. 4 years old. Yeah, wow. Amazing.
It's just amazing to see all the special needs children that work out with him, and just to see. I mean, he's amazing with everyone he works out with.
Also,
he works with a lot of women.
Also, women too. And one guy, he was 74 years old, and yeah, so young, old, not old, but have years under their belt. Yeah.
Old.
But,
seasoned.
Old, all right.
They're well seasoned, but everybody that, no matter if you're well seasoned, if you have a broken arm, broken leg, doesn't matter. Because some folks, they have broken arm, broken leg, can't move. No, there's many things you can do. Yeah. I learned you have all body parts. If you're like, I remember another time when I was 15 years old, I showed up at the gym and I cracked my collarbone, dislocated my shoulder. So I showed up with cast. I had my jeans on, short pants, a shirt on. I said, Coach, sorry, Coach, my arm. And he looked at me and he goes, are your legs hurt? Is your right arm hurt? I said, no. Well, what are you waiting for? I said, what do you mean? Get out there and start running. I'm like, whoa. And you come back inside, you're gonna go southpaw. Work your right arm. So I learned how to go southpaw.
Yeah, that's Jason.
Unorthodox approach.
That's Jason.
So there's always a way. No matter what. There's always a way. No matter what. And hey, I'm like, come to me, and hey, we'll find it.
Jason, tell me, if the listeners wanted to get involved and get into support for you and the Faith Fighter movement, how can they get involved? How can they support you and what you're doing? And how can they contact you?
Well, now I'm so excited because now I have my own logo that's not just trademarked, but it's also registered. It's the Faith Fighter. And I have it, the Faith Fighter, the back says blessings. I mean, it's blessed. The Faith Fighter, back says blessed. And it's amazing because that's what I'm promoting. And of course, I sell shirts. And I have friends who I grew up with in California. Some folks, they can't afford nothing. So I had it here, take this. I give them away. But all the money that I receive goes back to them producing more shirts, and just give them a sense of hope, shine, Faith Fighter, because this is the Faith Fighter. That's not just me. That's you. That's everybody. We're all Faith Fighters in life. We have to fight with faith. Faith is the substance of things to hope for and the evidence of things that you cannot see. You just got to believe it and just go after it with faith. And so now I have a website, thefaithfighter.com, and on my website, there's a shopping cart right there. You can order T-shirts and different colors. I got hoodies, are really, really nice, and I get really, really nice material because I want the material to be good. I want it to feel good when you wear it, and so I'm just keep it going. So any support, I really appreciate all the support I get. I'm so thankful. Derek got a red one on there. There you go, the Faith Fighter.
I like the red.
It's pretty cool. Red, and I got purple. You name it, whatever it is. And
where can they follow you on social media?
Jason Ingwaldson. My name, Jason Ingwaldson. But and also the Faith Fighter. You can look me up, the Faith Fighter, on Instagram, Facebook, different social media websites.
Just give me your cell phone that way, so we'll put it on the thing. But what's your cell phone to reach out?
Well, cell phone, I'm fully open. My cell phone, anybody can reach out to me. 702-272-4463, and you can reach out to me anytime. I'm open to talk, help out,
train. If you want to train, get some counsel. Listen, Jason's an amazing person. He's gone through so much in his life. And all of it has been a blessing to him. Takes nothing lightly. Life is every day is something special, and I get to be with you. But I'm telling you, reach out to Jason. One, for training needs. You spread the word with the shirts, with the love. But I tell you, I'm in probably the best shape of my life, and I would contribute that to the exercise that we've been doing together. And I truly appreciate you taking me on and training me the way you do, and the tough love that you give me. And I need it, and I appreciate you very much. So, thank you for coming in today. Thank you for doing our podcast. I know Kobe was very excited when I told him that you were coming, because he actually knew you before I did. Was seeing you in the gym.
Quick story for the listeners right before we got to bounce here, but there was one epic fighter that Jason got to train for one day before he ever knew who Derek Parent was, and that was me. And Jason and I went in there and got in the bag, and I remember two things. One, keep my hand up. I had to keep my hand up by my chin. And the other one was use that jab, man. We worked the hell out of it.
Was he yelling and hitting you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I lasted like 3 minutes before I was like dying on the ground for a second. But I was working out with Tiffany at the time, and Tiffany's like, look, we're going to box with Jason today. And Jason came over, and it was the most fun and also just really super productive. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. And one other thing I have, now I'm in the process of my autobiography, and I also do motivational speaking. So I'm setting that up. Engagement's coming up, and just to spread about faith and never giving up.
Man, you're the definition, baby.
Man, we got to jump. Guys, thanks so much. Living Large Las Vegas. Call Jason. Let this man speak. Let him come and touch the lives of the folks in your life. I'm on fire right now, and we just wrapped up this podcast. Check us out, Living Large Las Vegas. We'll be here.